No matter how much I prepare for the interviews, I don't know, but I always end up getting rejected. Even after spending so many hours on the interview preparation, I am not able to convert any interview. I think there is something wrong about me, and I'm always thinking what the interviewer thinks about me. Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about the top 10 interview mistakes that we should avoid for increasing our chances to get into our dream company. I had a recent experience with a big four company where I had given my interview, everything went well, I answered all the questions, but still I was not able to convert the interview. And it's pretty normal because interviews can be intimidating for a person who's giving it for the 100th time, or let's say for a person who's giving it for the first time. So that's normal. But what we can do in our part is we can give our best so that we leave a very good and a positive impression on the interviewer. Suppose today is your interview in next 30 minutes. You're all prepared to give your best in that interview. Okay. And the first thing that your interviewer notices is distracting background, or that unkept tie, or that opened collar button. Now you are trying to give your best in the interview, but your interview is still stuck on that unkept tie or that overly distracting background that you have. My friend, let me tell you, you've lost half of your battle over there itself. If you don't want to land yourself in such a situation, just make sure that you adhere to these two following pointers that I'm going to list. The first point, always keep a tidy background. Make it very distraction free. It should not be a very vibrant color, or your bed is visible, people going here and there is visible. Just try to keep it distraction free. Now the second point is negative body language. Now non-verbal cues are very influential in your professional image. Now, if you're sitting like in a slouching position like this, or you're not maintaining an eye contact with the interviewer, it can have a very negative influence on your professional image. Now, the third point is fumbling through, tell me about yourself. Now, this seemingly straightforward question catches a lot of candidates off guard. I mean, this question is the question that is always asked first in the interview, and most of us are not even prepared to answer this question because this is the question that will set the tone for the entire interview. So, here are some tips that I'm going to tell you while you are framing your tell me about yourself. The first point, always make it concise and compelling. Always have a compelling narrative that resonates with the job at hand, for the job that you are sitting in the interview, and at the same time it's always also trying to tell the professional journey that you had till date. The second point is rehearse as much as you can. Now before the interview, always rehearse the tell me about yourself as much as you can. Maybe standing in front of the mirror, or having your friends or family in front of you, and then rehearsing it 5-6 times, so that you don't want to fumble up during this crucial question. Now the fourth point is arriving unprepared. In the interview, if the interviewer is asking you something about the company, and if you're not even aware of what this job is all about, or what this company is all about, what does it do, that is highly unattractive, because companies always want that the candidate that they are interviewing should at least know what the company is doing, what the job is all about, right? That is the basics. Now the actionable tip that I would like to give you here is do your homework. Go to the company's website, read everything that the company does, read about the job description, because certainly there will be questions in the interview where the interviewer will ask you about your professional experiences or your achievements. And then what you can do is you can try to resonate, or relate your professional experience and your achievements with what the company is doing, because then the interviewer will feel that this person is a good fit for the job. The fifth point is bad mouthing past employers. In your previous job, you might have got a bad boss. You might have got unprofessional colleagues. There could be multiple things, and that could be the reason you are leaving the previous job. But telling those things, those details in the interview that you're sitting, that is the worst thing that you can do. So you don't want to be in that situation. So just avoid this conversation in the interview. Now the actionable tip I would like to give here is, whatever challenges you have faced in your past organization, make them as opportunities. Show them as opportunities in this interview. For example, there were tight deadlines in the previous company. So just say that even in this situation, I delivered this. So something you can just frame it like that. But don't badmouth the employer. Sixth point is not having any questions. Now, after every interview, you might have noticed most of the interviewers will always ask you one favorite question of theirs. Do you have any questions for us? And most of us will always answer, like I also used to answer, not really. But that shows that you are not a curious soul. You do not have any question for the company. So prepare a list of some questions that you could ask about the company in the interview when the interviewer will throw this question at you. For example, you can ask, can you describe the culture of the company for me? Or what is the best part about working in this company? Like these type of questions you can ask. Next point is not being prepared with the salary question, because that is the question we all have been waiting for, right? And most of the people, they try to get very honest in this question. What they will answer is something like, I haven't really thought about this question. Or either they will say, no, I'm here for the position. I don't want salary. You can give me anything, you feel is the best for me. Don't try to be over honest in these kind of questions. What you have to do is, before sitting in the interview, just try to, like, for whatever position you're sitting in the interview, just browse through sites like Glassdoor, or there are many other websites. Go to those websites and see what is the average salary this person, like for this position, a person is getting in the market. And then do not give the exact number in the interview. Just say a range. The next point is not knowing an answer. There can be situations in the interview where you have prepared like a lot, but the interviewer has thrown a question at you and you do not know the answer to that. It's perfectly fine. No one is perfect. There can be questions you do not have an answer to. So in those situations, what I usually used to do is, for example, I've been asked a question, I do not know anything about it. I will politely say, sorry, sir, right now I do not have an answer to this question, but after the interview, I'll certainly check on this. So you can just politely say, because this will show that, you are curious. After the interview, you will take that pain to search the question and see, what is the answer to that question. And plus you're acknowledging that, you do not know the answer to that question. So being honest and at the same time showing that, you will take that kind of pain to see it later after the interview is something that, is much better than, saying anything, just almost anything in the interview for that question. So it's always better to play safe. Next point is not knowing your resume or cover letter. What we will do is we will frame our resume, cover letter in the interview. We will sit, and sometimes what happens is the interviewer does not see the resonation between what you are speaking in the interview and what you have written in your resume. There is a lot of discrepancy in both of the things. So just be thorough in the resume. There are some interviews that solely go on the basis of your resume. Like I have faced those interviews where the interviewer will just open my resume and ask the questions from that resume. So you should thoroughly know what you're writing in the resume. Do not put something that you do not absolutely know, and you have just put down it in your resume just for the sake of it. Just don't do all of that, and be well prepared with whatever you have written in your resume and cover letter, and accordingly speak out in the interview. Next point is exaggerating your skills. Sometimes what most of the people do is, just for the sake of it, they will put some skills in their resume that they have no idea about. Okay, they'll put some false information in the resume. Don't ever do that, because that will land you nowhere. Let's say the interviewer starts asking you questions regarding that particular skill you have written, but you have no idea about it. You will be caught red-handed. And if your luck is good, even if you get the job in the interview, what if they fire you? That this person promised in the interview that he knows this, that, etc., but during the job he's not able to perform that. So again, that will be a very bad situation for you, right? So do not put anything that you do not know in your resume. And even if, for example, by mistake you've written something in your resume of which you do not have a lot of idea about, you can just politely say in the interview that, I'm keen to learn this skill. I'm learning, I'm in the process of learning it and gaining experience on this skill. So something like this you can always say. Right? That will always keep you in a safe spot. So I hope these tips were useful for you. Trust me, all of this comes from a lot of personal experience. Okay. So if you have some pointers or anything that you want to add, or you want to say, or you want to share your experience, you're free to do that in the comments. And yeah, hope you like the video.